Hi, I'm Julie Aquino from Brown & Brown. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Nice to meet you, Julie.
Nice to meet you. Thanks a lot for seeing me today.
You're welcome.
Now you have a great building here. How long have you owned this building?
For 17 years.
Really, that's a long time. It's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your operations.
We have 21 apartments, and I have a manager that collects the rent. We have quite a few bills with National Grid and water and snow removal and upkeep on the grounds, etc.
Must take a lot of time to keep everything going and up, and
Yes, it does.
a lot of apartments and tenants.
21 apartments.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, have you heard of Brown & Brown before?
No, I haven't.
Let me give you my card.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Brown & Brown is one of the, well, actually it's the sixth largest brokerage firms within the United States. We have several offices throughout the United States. I'm from the Syracuse office, obviously, since you're located in Canastota, New York. We are what's called decentralized, meaning we run each operation separately from each other, which allows us to do what we need to do within our territories. And we then also have the ability to access our other offices for any expertise that we may need, risk management. Different offices write different classes of business, and they have more knowledge in different areas, and so do we. So we come together for knowledge purposes, but then, as I said, run our offices independently. We also, because of the size of our operations, we are able to have access to several companies throughout the United States, and by doing that, we're able to offer our clients several different quotes and forms when needed for their businesses to be able to provide the best quality service and best companies that is available within the industry. And we're very proud of that. Now, can I ask you a little bit about, you've been in operations for 17 years, you had indicated.
Yes.
Are you currently happy with your agent that you have? And how long have you been with that agency?
We've been with the agency since we bought the building. And yes, we're fairly pleased with the agency. We haven't had any claims, so we can't base it on a lot.
Sure. Now, how many times do you see your agent within a course of a year?
Actually, we don't. I don't think I've seen him in a couple of years.
I see. That's interesting. So he doesn't come by to make sure that, you had mentioned that you have snow removal. He doesn't, does he ever say to you, gee, I'd like to review the contract that you have in place to make sure that your snow removal person is taking on the liability in case somebody slips and falls in your parking lot? Has he ever done anything like that for you?
No, I don't know about early on when we signed up with the agency, but I have not spoken with him about it.
I see. That's interesting, because one of the largest claims on the general liability side of a building owner is slip and falls that occur on their property. And within Syracuse, New York, we have a lot of snowfall and ice. And if your snow removal person is not removing the snow as you hired, really that's his, you know, the onus, so to speak, is on him and should be doing that because you've hired him. So there should be some type of contract between you and him, so he's taking on the liability if he's not doing his job. And that's something that we look at here at Brown & Brown. Has your agent ever talked to you about if in fact, if you ever had a fire loss and what your building values are and what could occur if you're underinsured?
I'm sure he has previously, but not recently.
Have your building values gone up over the years, over the past 17 years?
As far as assessment, you mean?
Well, not really assessment, but the value, when you started, we'll take hypothetical values. So we'll take 500,000 17 years ago that the building, the replacement of that building is. And in 17 years, that has gone up because of the cost of reconstruction, building materials, etc. Has he evaluated that every year? He should be really coming to you, looking at that every year, and reevaluating that. Has he done that?
No, he has not.
That's interesting. Well, what happens is if you do have a fire, especially a partial loss, you could get into what's called a co-insurance clause if in fact you don't have the right forms on your policy. And that just basically means to you that you're going to be paying out of your pocket if you don't have the right forms on your policy. And you know, you indicated that you're not a big risk taker. That in fact would be a large risk that you would be taking on that would come off your bottom line and your profit. So that would be something that we would really look to evaluate for you. Now you didn't mention at all the costs that you have had throughout the year with your insurance. Are you happy with what you've been paying so far?
You're talking about the premium?
The premium costs.
Yes, but like I say, we haven't had it with anyone else, so there isn't anything to compare it with.
So has he brought you quotations throughout the years to show you the different, insurance goes through different cycles and premiums go up and down. Has he looked at and evaluated your policies to show you that there's different companies and different premiums that are out there?
No, he hasn't.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Hines, I'd like to do those things for you. Again, at Brown & Brown, we take pride in evaluating your forms, evaluating your costs for insurance. And when I say costs, I'm not just looking at costs for premium. I'm looking at costs that would ultimately would come out of your pocket if a claim was to occur. And then we also have a risk management in place that we make sure that snow removal is done correctly. And we'll go and we'll look at, you know, your guy hasn't removed the snow correctly, and because of that you could potentially have a liability claim because of a slip and fall. And contracts that you should have in place with yourself and any contractor that you may hire. And we would like to review all those for you. Would you be willing to allow us to do that?
Yes, definitely.
Well, that's great. Well, listen, I appreciate you sitting down with me, and I look forward to reviewing all your policies and your forms, and I will get back to you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.